Hey there! Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into something special. We're going back 2,400 years to talk about a guy who literally invented the way we think about reality, love, justice, and basically everything that matters in life. His name? Plato. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why should I care about some ancient Greek philosopher in 2026? And that's a fair question. But here's the thing. The ideas this man put on paper are so powerful, so timeless, that they're still changing lives today. They've influenced everyone from Einstein to Elon Musk, from your favorite movie directors to the greatest leaders in history. And today, I'm going to share 20 of his most powerful ideas with you. Ideas that, if you really understand them, could completely transform how you see the world and how you live your life. So grab a coffee, get comfortable, and let's jump right in. Idea number 1. The world you see isn't real. Theory of forms. All right, let's start with the big one. The idea that blew my mind when I first learned about it. Plato believed that everything you see around you isn't the real thing. Your phone, your house, your car, even the people you love, they're all just copies of perfect versions that exist somewhere else. Wait, what? Let me explain. Imagine you draw a circle. No matter how good you are at drawing, it's never going to be a perfect circle, right? There will always be tiny bumps or imperfections. But somehow, in your mind, you know what a perfect circle looks like. You can imagine it. Plato said that perfect circle exists in what he called the world of forms or ideas, and everything in our physical world is just an imperfect copy of these perfect forms. So why does this matter for your life? Because it teaches you that what you see isn't everything. The material stuff, the superficial things, the appearances, they're not the full story. There's something deeper, something more real beneath the surface. When you start looking for that deeper reality, for the truth behind appearances, your whole perspective shifts. You stop getting caught up in shallow things. You start seeking what's truly valuable. Idea number 2, you're living in a cave. Allegory of the cave. Now this one is connected to the first idea, but it's so powerful it deserves its own spot. Plato tells this story about people who have been chained up in a cave since birth. They're facing a wall, and all they can see are shadows cast by a fire behind them. These prisoners think the shadows are real because that's all they've ever known. Then one day, one prisoner breaks free. He turns around, sees the fire, realizes the shadows are fake. Then he climbs out of the cave and sees the real world for the first time. The sun, the trees, actual reality. But here's the crazy part. When he goes back to tell the other prisoners, they don't believe him. They think he's crazy. They might even try to kill him for saying their reality is fake. Sound familiar? Here's what this means for you. Most people are living in that cave right now. They're stuck seeing only shadows, believing whatever they're told, following the crowd without questioning anything. Breaking out of the cave means questioning every assumption you have about reality. It means thinking for yourself. It means having the courage to seek truth even when everyone else thinks you're wrong. And yes, when you start thinking differently, people might laugh at you. They might call you crazy, but that's just because they're still in the cave and you've stepped into the light. The question is, are you brave enough to leave your cave? Idea number 3, love is a ladder to something higher, the ladder of love. Okay, let's talk about love, because Plato had some wild ideas about this too. Most people think love is just about finding that one special person who completes you, right? Your soulmate, your other half. But Plato saw love completely differently. In his work called the Symposium, Plato describes love as a ladder. You start at the bottom, loving beautiful bodies, physical attraction. But as you grow wiser, you climb higher. You start loving beautiful souls, then beautiful ideas, then knowledge itself. And at the very top, you love beauty itself, the pure form of beauty. Now, this might sound cold or abstract, but think about it. When you first fall in love with someone, maybe it's their looks that catch your eye. But if the relationship deepens, you start loving their character, their mind, their values. You're climbing that ladder. And here's the beautiful part. The love that drives you to create, to learn, to build something meaningful. That's the same force. Whether you're creating art, writing a book, building a business, raising kids, you're giving birth to something good and beautiful in this world. So love isn't just romance. It's the driving force behind every great achievement, every noble pursuit, every moment of growth in your life. How are you using your capacity to love? Are you stuck at the bottom of the ladder, or are you climbing higher? Idea number 4. Your soul has 3 parts, the tripartite soul. Here's another mind-blowing idea. Plato said your soul isn't one simple thing. It's divided into 3 parts: reason, spirit, and appetite. Let me break this down. Reason is the part that loves truth and knowledge. It's logical. It thinks things through. It wants to understand reality. Spirit is the part that craves honor, victory, achievement. It's passionate. It gets angry when treated unfairly. It has that fire in it. And appetite is the part that wants food, drink, sex, money, pleasure, all the physical stuff. Now here's the key. All 3 parts are necessary. You need all of them. But they need to work together in the right way. In a healthy soul, reason is the ruler. Spirit helps reason enforce its decisions like a loyal warrior. And appetite follows orders, satisfying your needs without taking over. Think about it in your own life. How many times have you known what the right thing to do was, but your appetites pulled you in a different direction? That's the appetitive part trying to rule when it shouldn't. Or maybe you've let your spirited part, your anger or pride, make decisions that reason would never approve of. The goal is balance. Let your rational part lead. Let your spirited part give you courage and drive, and let your appetites be satisfied in a healthy way. When these 3 parts work together in harmony, that's when you experience true inner peace. That's justice in the soul. Idea number 5. Education isn't about filling a vessel. True education. Now let's talk about learning, because Plato completely changed how we think about education. Most people think education is like filling an empty jar with water. The teacher pours knowledge into the student's head, right? Wrong. Plato said education isn't about putting information into someone's mind. It's about turning the soul in a new direction so it can see things it couldn't see before. It's about helping someone achieve new insights on their own. This is huge. Think about the best teachers you've ever had. They didn't just lecture at you, did they? They asked questions. They challenged you. They made you think for yourself. That's real education. It's not memorizing facts. It's learning how to think, how to question, how to discover truth for yourself. And here's what this means for your life right now. You can't just passively consume information and expect to grow. You've got to actively engage with ideas. Question them, test them, think deeply about them. Reading 100 books won't change you if you're just letting the words wash over you. But really wrestling with one powerful idea, that can transform everything. So don't just be a passive consumer of content. Engage, think, question everything, including what I'm telling you right now. Idea number 6. The unexamined life isn't worth living. Self-reflection. This is one of the most famous philosophical quotes ever, and it came from Plato's teacher Socrates, whose ideas Plato wrote down. The unexamined life is not worth living. What does this mean? It means if you're just going through life on autopilot, never stopping to think about why you do, what you believe, where you're going, then you're not really living. You're just existing. Most people never examine their lives. They adopt beliefs from their parents, their culture, their friends, without ever questioning if those beliefs are actually true or right. They chase goals society told them to chase without asking if those goals will actually make them happy. They make the same mistakes over and over because they never stop to reflect on their patterns and behaviors. Don't be that person. Make time for self-reflection. Ask yourself the hard questions. Why do I believe what I believe? What am I really working towards? Am I living according to my values or someone else's? What kind of person am I becoming? This kind of examination can be uncomfortable. It can be painful, but it's absolutely necessary if you want to live a meaningful life. Set aside time every week or even every day to examine your life. Journal, meditate, think deeply about who you are and who you want to be. That's how you ensure you're living, not just existing. Idea number 7, knowledge is remembering. Theory of recollection. Okay, this one is kind of wild, but stay with me. Plato believed that learning isn't about discovering something new. It's about remembering something you already knew. He thought that before you were born, your soul existed in the realm of forms and knew all these perfect truths. But when you were born into a body, you forgot everything. So when you learn something, you're actually just remembering what your soul once knew. Now, whether you believe in souls existing before birth or not, there's something profound here. Have you ever had that feeling when you're learning something new and it just clicks? Like you're not hearing it for the first time, but recognizing something you've always known deep down? That's what Plato was talking about. And here's the practical takeaway. The truth you're seeking is already within you. You don't need someone else to tell you who you are or what's right. You need to dig deep, reflect, and remember what you already know in your heart. Trust your intuition. Trust that inner voice. The wisdom you're looking for isn't outside you. It's already there, waiting to be remembered. Idea number 8, justice is harmony. What justice really means. Let's talk about justice, because Plato spent a huge chunk of his most famous work, The Republic, trying to figure out what justice actually is. And here's what he concluded. Justice isn't just about following laws or being fair in transactions. Justice is harmony. It's when every part does what it's supposed to do without interfering with the other parts. Think about it like an orchestra. You've got violins, drums, trumpets, all different instruments. Justice is when each instrument plays its part perfectly, creating beautiful harmony. Injustice is when the drums try to do what the violin should do, when everything's out of balance and chaotic. In your soul, justice is when reason rules, spirit supports reason, and appetite obeys. Each part doing its job, working together in harmony. In society, same thing. Justice is when everyone does what they're best suited for, when the right people lead, when everyone contributes according to their strengths. But let's bring this to your personal life. Are you trying to be someone you're not? Are you forcing yourself into a role that doesn't fit you? That's injustice in your own life. True justice, true harmony, comes when you accept who you really are. Develop your natural strengths and do what you're genuinely meant to do. Stop trying to be someone else. Find your unique role and play it beautifully. That's justice. Idea number 9. The examined person is rare, the philosopher's path. Here's something Plato understood that most people don't want to accept. Most people are perfectly content living in ignorance. They don't want to question their assumptions. They don't want to seek deeper truth. They don't want the discomfort of real knowledge. Remember the cave? The prisoners didn't want to leave. They were comfortable in their chains. Plato believed that only special people, philosophers, lovers of wisdom, have the ability and the drive to see beyond appearances and grasp the forms, the true reality. Now, before you think this is elitist, hear me out. Plato wasn't saying only a few people are born special. He was saying only a few people are willing to do the hard work of seeking truth. Most people choose comfort over truth. They choose easy answers over difficult questions. They choose fitting in over thinking for themselves. But you can choose differently. You can become a philosopher, a lover of wisdom, not by getting a fancy degree, but by committing yourself to the pursuit of truth, no matter how uncomfortable it gets. It's a rare path. It's a difficult path, but it's the path to genuine wisdom and fulfillment. Are you willing to be rare? Idea number 10. Your reality is shaped by what you consume. The power of art and stories. Here's something relevant for 2026 especially. Plato was actually pretty suspicious of art and poetry. He thought they could be dangerous because they show us copies of copies, shadows of shadows, taking us even further from truth. Now, you might disagree with him about art being bad, but the core insight is brilliant. What you consume shapes your reality. If you're constantly watching violent movies, your mind starts to see the world as violent. If you're scrolling through social media seeing everyone's highlight reels, you start to believe everyone's life is perfect except yours. The stories you consume, the content you watch, the music you listen to, the people you follow online, all of it is programming your mind. It's shaping what you believe about reality. So here's my question for you. What are you feeding your mind? Are you consuming content that elevates you, that inspires you to be better, that shows you truth? Or are you consuming junk that distorts your perception and pulls you away from reality? In 2026, we're drowning in content. Every second, thousands of voices are competing for your attention. Most of them are showing you shadows, not reality. Be intentional about what you consume. Choose wisely. Your mind is a garden. What you plant is what will grow. Idea number 11. Immortality through creation. Leaving your mark. Let's get deep for a moment. Everyone wants to live forever, right? We're all afraid of death, of being forgotten, of leaving nothing behind. Plato understood this, and he said that love drives us to create because creation is our way of achieving immortality. When you create something beautiful, something good, something meaningful, a part of you lives on forever. Think about it. Why do people have children? Partly because those children carry a piece of you into the future. Why do artists create? Why do writers write? Why do builders build? Because they're leaving something behind that will outlast them. Whether you're creating physical offspring or creative works or companies or ideas, you're giving birth to something that extends your existence beyond your mortal life. So what are you creating? What will you leave behind when you're gone? You don't have to be Shakespeare or Steve Jobs, but you should be creating something. Maybe it's a happy family. Maybe it's a business that helps people. Maybe it's art, music, writing. Maybe it's just a positive impact on the people around you. Create something meaningful. That's how you achieve immortality. That's how you transcend death. What will be your legacy? Idea number 12. True knowledge versus opinion. Episteme versus doxa. Here's a distinction that's super important, especially in our age of social media. Plato distinguished between two types of understanding: doxa, which means opinion or belief, and episteme, which means true knowledge. Most people live their entire lives in the realm of opinion. They have beliefs, but they're not based on real understanding. They're based on what they've heard, what feels right, what everyone else thinks. True knowledge is different. It's based on reason, on understanding the underlying principles, on grasping the forms themselves. Here's a simple example. You might have the opinion that the sun rises in the east because you've seen it happen every day. But do you actually know why? Do you understand the rotation of the earth, the mechanics of the solar system? Opinion says it is. Knowledge says it is because. In your life right now, how much of what you believe is actually knowledge and how much is just opinion? Do you believe things because you've thought them through carefully, or because someone told you, or because everyone else believes them? Challenge yourself. Move from opinion to knowledge. Question your beliefs. Dig deeper. Understand the why behind everything. That's how you escape the cave of mere opinion and step into the light of true knowledge. Idea number 13. The ideal state reflects the ideal soul. As above, so below. Here's a fascinating parallel Plato drew. He said that a just society has the same structure as a just soul. In the ideal state, you have three classes: the producers, who provide material needs; the warriors, who protect and enforce; and the rulers, who govern with wisdom. In the ideal soul, you have appetite, spirit, and reason. The state and the soul mirror each other. This is based on an ancient principle. As above, so below. The patterns repeat at every level of reality. So here's what this means for you. If you want to fix society, start by fixing yourself. If you want to see justice in the world, create justice in your own soul first. If you want to see wisdom guiding your country, let wisdom guide your own life. You can't control the whole world, but you can control your own inner world. And when you do that, when you create harmony and justice within yourself, you naturally start creating it around you too. Change starts from within. Fix your soul, and you contribute to fixing the world. It's not about protesting or complaining about how bad things are out there. It's about becoming the change you want to see. Idea number 14. Beauty is objective, not subjective. The form of beauty. Here's a controversial one. Today, everyone says, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It's all subjective, right? What's beautiful to you might not be beautiful to me. Plato completely disagreed. He believed there's an objective form of beauty that exists beyond our opinions. True beauty is eternal, perfect, unchanging, and all the beautiful things we see in the world are just reflections of that perfect beauty. Now, you might push back on this, but think about it. Why do certain things universally inspire awe? A sunset, a mountain, a perfectly symmetrical face, a moving piece of music. Could it be that they're closer to that perfect form of beauty? And here's the deeper point. If beauty is objective, then you can pursue it. You can train yourself to recognize it, to appreciate it, to create it. Your taste can improve. You're not stuck with whatever you happen to find attractive right now. You can educate your sense of beauty, refine it, develop it. This applies to everything: music, art, design, even moral beauty, the beauty of a virtuous character. Don't settle for "it's all subjective." Pursue real beauty. Learn to recognize it, appreciate it, embody it in your life. Idea number 15. Temperance is a virtue, self-control. Let's talk about a virtue that's becoming rare in our modern world: temperance or self-control. In Plato's system, temperance is one of the 4 cardinal virtues. It's the readiness to be ruled by reason, especially important for the appetitive part of the soul. Think about our society right now. Everything is designed to trigger your appetites. Junk food everywhere. Social media engineered to be addictive. Instant gratification at every turn. Your appetitive part is being constantly stimulated, encouraged to take control. But a good life requires temperance. It requires saying no to your impulses sometimes. It requires delaying gratification. It requires putting your appetites in their proper place under the rule of reason. This doesn't mean becoming some joyless robot who never has fun. It means enjoying pleasures in a healthy, balanced way instead of being controlled by them. Can you say no to that extra slice of pizza when you're full? Can you put your phone down and focus on what matters? Can you resist that impulse purchase? Self-control is like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it gets. Start small. Practice saying no to small impulses. Build that temperance muscle. Over time, you'll find that you're no longer controlled by your appetites. You're in control. And that freedom is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself. Idea number 16. The Philosopher King, Leadership and Wisdom. Here's Plato's controversial idea about government. He believed that the ideal rulers should be philosophers, people who love wisdom and can see the forms. Only they have the knowledge and virtue necessary to rule justly. Now, the idea of philosopher kings might sound unrealistic or even scary, and Plato himself probably knew it was more of an ideal than a practical plan. But here's the valuable core idea. Leadership should be based on wisdom and virtue, not power, money, or popularity. Look around at our world today. How many leaders got to where they are because they're wise? How many because they understand truth and justice? Most leaders are there because they're good at getting power, not because they're good at using it wisely. This applies beyond just politics, though. Who should lead your company? The person who's best at climbing the corporate ladder, or the person who's wisest and most capable? Who should you listen to for advice? The person with the most followers, or the person with the most wisdom? And most importantly, who should lead your own life? Your appetites and impulses, or your rational, wise self? Seek wisdom before seeking power. And when you look for leaders, look for wisdom, not charisma. Idea number 17, mathematics and philosophy, the language of reality. Here's something interesting. Plato was heavily influenced by the Pythagoreans, who believed that mathematics was the key to understanding reality. They thought everything was fundamentally number and ratio. Plato took this seriously. Above the entrance to his academy, he supposedly had inscribed, "Let no one ignorant of geometry enter here." Why? Because mathematics trains the mind to think abstractly, to see beyond physical appearances to underlying patterns and principles. When you study geometry, you're not really studying triangles drawn on paper. You're studying the perfect form of triangle that exists in the realm of ideas. This is why math feels universal and eternal. 2 plus 2 equals 4. No matter where you are, no matter what language you speak, no matter what you believe, it's true everywhere, always. So here's the lesson. Train your mind to think abstractly. Study logic, study mathematics, study philosophy. These disciplines teach you to see patterns, to think clearly, to reason correctly. They sharpen your mind like nothing else can. You might not use calculus in your daily life, but studying it makes you smarter in every area. It teaches your mind to think. Don't underestimate the power of abstract thinking. It's what separates humans from animals and philosophers from the crowd. Idea number 18. Courage is a virtue, spirit in action. Let's talk about courage, another one of Plato's cardinal virtues. Courage isn't just physical bravery in battle. It's the virtue of the spirited part of the soul. It's about having the strength to do what reason tells you is right, even when it's hard or scary. Think about the times in your life when you knew what you should do, but you were afraid. Maybe you should speak up against something wrong, but you stayed silent. Maybe you should pursue a dream, but you played it safe. That's a failure of courage. True courage means acting on what you know is right, even when it's difficult, even when people might laugh at you, even when you might fail. Remember the person who escaped from the cave? They had to have courage. Courage to leave the comfort of what they knew. Courage to face the painful light of truth. Courage to go back and try to help the others, knowing they might reject or even kill them. Living a meaningful life requires courage. You will face resistance. You will face fear. You will face doubt. But if you let those things stop you, you'll never escape your cave. You'll never climb the ladder of love. You'll never achieve the greatness you're capable of. Develop your courage. Start with small acts of bravery. Speak up when you usually stay silent. Try something you're afraid of. Stand up for what you believe in. The more you practice courage, the stronger your spirited part becomes. Idea number 19. Wisdom is seeing the whole, the form of the good. We've talked about several forms, but Plato believed one was supreme, the form of the good. This is the highest form, the one that illuminates all the others. Understanding the good is the ultimate goal of philosophy. But what does this mean practically? Wisdom isn't just knowing a lot of facts, it's seeing how everything connects. It's understanding the whole picture, not just isolated pieces. Think about it like this. A fool might know that exercise is healthy, but still not exercise because they can't see how it connects to their long-term goals. A wise person sees the whole picture. Exercise leads to health, which leads to energy, which leads to success in work, which leads to fulfillment. Wisdom is seeing all these connections, understanding how everything relates to the good in your life. Stop looking at things in isolation. When you make a decision, think about how it affects everything else. How does this choice impact your health, your relationships, your goals, your character? See the whole. Understand the connections. That's wisdom. And the more you practice this kind of holistic thinking, the closer you get to understanding that form of the good that Plato talked about. Idea number 20. Philosophy is preparation for death, living well. All right, let's end with a heavy one. Plato, following his teacher Socrates, believed that philosophy is essentially preparation for death. The philosopher spends their life trying to separate their soul from the concerns of the body, to focus on eternal truths rather than temporary pleasures. Now, this might sound morbid, but it's actually incredibly liberating. If you live your life knowing that you're going to die, that your time is limited, that the material stuff doesn't go with you, it changes everything. You stop sweating the small stuff. You stop chasing things that don't matter. You focus on what's truly important: wisdom, virtue, love, truth, creating something meaningful. Remember, Plato believed the soul is immortal and continues after death. So the question isn't whether you'll continue existing, it's what kind of soul you'll have when you do. Whether you believe in an afterlife or not, the principle is the same. Live in a way that you'd be proud of when you look back on your life. If today was your last day, would you be satisfied with who you've become, with what you've created, with how you've treated people? Philosophy, the love of wisdom, is about living so well that death holds no fear. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, developing your soul, pursuing truth and goodness. That's how you prepare for death, by living fully, meaningfully, virtuously. Conclusion. Wow, we just covered 20 powerful ideas from Plato, a man who lived over 2,000 years ago, but whose wisdom is still transforming lives today. Let's do a quick recap. The world you see isn't real. There's a deeper reality of perfect forms. Most people live in a cave of shadows, and escaping requires courage. Love is a ladder that leads you to higher truths. Your soul has 3 parts that need to work in harmony. Education is about turning the soul, not filling it with facts. The unexamined life isn't worth living. Learning is remembering what your soul already knows. Justice is harmony, each part doing its job. The path of wisdom is rare and difficult. What you consume shapes your reality. Immortality comes through creation. Distinguish between opinion and true knowledge. Fix yourself before trying to fix the world. Beauty is objective and can be pursued. Self-control is a crucial virtue. Leaders should be chosen for wisdom, not power. Mathematics and abstract thinking sharpen the mind. Courage means doing what's right despite fear. Wisdom is seeing how everything connects to the good. Philosophy prepares you for death by teaching you how to live. Now here's my challenge for you. You can't apply all 20 of these ideas at once, but pick one. Just one idea that really resonated with you, and for the next week, really focus on applying it to your life. Maybe you'll start examining your life more deeply. Maybe you'll try to identify which part of your soul is controlling you. Maybe you'll start questioning your assumptions and seeking to escape your cave. Whatever you choose, take action, because Plato didn't write these ideas so they could sit on a shelf. He wrote them to change lives. And that's exactly what they can do for you in 2026. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into philosophy and self-improvement, and drop a comment letting me know which of these 20 ideas hit you the hardest. Thanks for watching, and remember, the unexamined life is not worth living. Now go examine yours. See you in the next one.